Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in this episode we're going to be taking a look at an add-on that I've looked at before, Sky4Sim NG. You guys are going to really enjoy all the capabilities that are with this particular program, and be sure to check out the link in the description below to find out more about it after the video. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come along down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below, and thank you to all of my current subscribers. Okay guys, so this is an incredibly awesome application. It is the kneeboard of kneeboards in my opinion. There are some really great developers out there who have done some fantastic job with a lot of these electronic kneeboards. So one of my favorite things about this one here is just the diversity and the multi-use functionality of it. And I'll get into what I mean by multi-use here in just a second here. But make sure that you guys check out, again, a link down in the description below will be to the developer's website where you can look at the premium versions, which is what I will be showcasing here today. There is a freeware and then there is a payware version. Both are incredibly handy and awesome to have, but I highly recommend the payware version just to have all the full features that are available with this. And in this latest development, he's gone even above and beyond and created an integration directly with the G1000, or I should say G working title series avionics. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the benefits to this. So give me just a second here. Let's go ahead and turn that guy off for the moment. And we will start with just the simulator here. So first off, you have an application that needs to be ran in the background. It's running on the desktop here. I'm not going to worry about showing that. I'll try to remember to put a link to my previous video in this one, guys, so if you guys want to see the full setup here. But here today, we're just going to sort of showcase it and doing some full flight features. So once you have, as long as you have your Bing Map API key, the presented page is always going to be the world map and the aircraft's current location. Here, as you guys know, I am based out of Tucson, so of course we're at my home airport here. What's really awesome about this particular application now is that you can actually scale the window first off. So this is going to be a big hit to VR users, is the ability to actually scale the window down and readjust it according to size and position. That goes a long way. There's actually a lot. You guys would not believe how many applications that are designed for flight simulation in general, not just Microsoft Flight Simulator, where the window doesn't scale. So that creates a lot of customization options and comfort ability for anyone who is looking to expand their electronic kneeboard, if you will. Now, we have all of the same options within the in-game menu here, so you can move this around, you can pop it out, you can drag it to other windows. But what I like to do is what I'm going to show you guys next is I like to use a web browser, and I'm going to show you guys a real trick to really clean it up very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and let's move back to the previous screen that we had open. There we go. So the biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from this is that if you notice, this is a web browser. And up the top, we don't have any of the address bar. So for those of you who may not know, if you're on a Windows-based machine and you open up any web browser, but I'm using Chrome in this particular example, if you open up a web page, and nobody likes to have the title bar on their screens or their MFDs, it really draws away from it, right? Or the address bar. If you press F11 on your keyboard, it will remove the address bar. As you can see, there's F11, brings it back, hit it again, and it maximizes it to the full screen. And you can see it pops up. Oh, you guys probably couldn't see that, but it pops up and tells you press F11 if you want to come back. So this is really awesome with a touchscreen, and that's what I'm showcasing for you guys today. This is on a 15.5-inch touchscreen. If you guys are curious about it, you guys can check out my previous videos on the cockpit update, and you'll see the center screen that I have. And this is an incredibly awesome application with the touchscreen. This is really, really nice. So I'm going to navigate to the main menu. You can see the map that we were just on. But like if we wanted to go to airports, I could click in here, and let's go to ICAO. It's very, very responsive. Very quick. We have our weather information, 3407 nights, 7 nights. Nice. 7 nights for you and one other person for only $99.99 a night. I'm sorry, I don't know where I went. Anyway, got a nice wind direction needle there, but that, okay, so right off the bat, I got my pressurization on the left, so all of my ADIS information that I really need. 340, that's going to tell me I'm taking off from runway 29 right today. 2,600 feet. Huh, why do I feel like that's high? Anyway, 7 knot wind speeds, not too bad. I got all my comm frequencies that I would need. And again, you can see the runways down there in the bottom left. We're going to have 29 right today, which is going to be our departure when we go get ready to go. Okay, moving up to the top, you can see the information tab. And again, brings all the same information in a much cleaner presentation for us. Any runway information that you may need, all at your fingertips. This is really handy, guys. I cannot stress enough. Super handy with a tablet, a touchscreen monitor, anything like that. Even your cell phone, it works really nicely here. Okay, come over here. Again, we have all of your frequencies for Tucson. Moving on over, ILS, if we had ILS frequencies, which I'm not quite sure why that's not there, because 11 left absolutely has an ILS frequency. And 29 right, you just fly the reciprocal. And again, here we are with the live MEDAR information. So you get everything in the fresh. If you guys want to, keep it as realistic as you can, you're used to seeing it in the standard format. So it makes it really nice. Really, really slick system here. So there's our airports page. Flight plan page, we're going to come back to that in just a minute. So I'm actually going to move back onto that. But let's go back to our, main menu. There we go. Your weather information, a lot of the same stuff that you guys just saw, but you can see what the simulator is showing. Remember that the previous one, we think we're showing 340 on our wind degrees. Simulator is registering 320 at 10 knots. And then you get your barometric pressure and all that good jazz. And then you get your real world information down below. So pretty awesome stuff, guys. It really is. I like the way they broke it down because it really gives you options. Now, documents and PDF reader, I'm not going to go into today. I've shown that off in my other videos, but essentially what it is you guys can just create documents and import them. You can see there's a PDF link down at the bottom where you can actually link to particular PDFs. If you want to go to open a PDF, you have a PDF reader. But the nice thing about the documents folder is it can be nav charts. It can be maybe a checklist that you've made or that you want to have access to very easily. And you can break them down into folders. If you wanted to have a 172 folder, 52 folder, you want to have an A320 folder, you can break it down into things like that, maybe based on flight plans. A lot of really cool stuff. The descent planner, we're going to get into that here in a little bit here, but they have added that now. Pilot book. So check this out. Look what we got here. Cessna Skyhawk G1000 SOBA. This is our logbook. Okay, now this was an airport that I was at earlier, so I'm actually going to scratch that. I was just testing things out for a little bit. And so we're going to delete that one. Delete this from the flight log. Yep. Okay, well, maybe I have to refresh it. So we'll come back over here. Let's go back to the pilot book. It's still there. Interesting. Oh, you know what? That's not the one that I liked. I'm sorry. I think it was the notepad that I liked. Yes, the notepad's the one that I liked. So the notepad, I prefer. And the scratch pad does work. I think I was doing something wrong there. But the notepad is the one that I like because I don't like writing with my finger. I haven't gotten very good at reading it, to be quite honest here. But I like to do things like taxi to 29er right. I'll do things like this. Via, alpha. And then I'll do things like hold short. Alpha 1 2, and so that makes it really nice when you're doing like your taxi instructions or things like that, or descent profiles, maybe new frequencies that you have to follow, whatever it may be. And then you can simply hit the trash can up there at the top to clear it out. The scratch pad again does work. The whiteboard, I think I am doing something wrong, and I can't remember what it is. So you guys are going to have to forgive me. Let's try the mouse over here. Yeah, see, the mouse works just fine. But when I try to use the touch, it does not. I think that's what the catch was for me. So maybe the developer sees that. He can adjust that. But the rest of the text pad works fine. Let's come over here to the settings, actually, and go over a couple things. You can customize your map button styles, aircraft GPS icon, your map size icons. A lot of the customizations are based around sizability, which is actually a huge deal, especially if you're someone, again, where we're changing screen sizes depending on cell phones, tablets, monitors, a bunch of different things. And the beautiful part about this is, again, any device that is currently on your Wi-Fi network can access this stuff. So from screen to screen, it may change, and then your settings preferences may change on that as well. The fast swap, your menu keys, you're able to change the fast swap keys We'll talk about those later on. Shortcut keys. You guys are able to bring shortcuts up change shortcuts to define how you want the application set up. Nav data information. So this might be why actually let's go ahead and hit update here. This is very likely why my ILS frequency for Tucson was missing. So we'll go ahead and let that finish. It looks like it's rocking pretty quick. Okay, so we can see that that's now done. Took about 5 minutes. It wasn't bad at all. So now, for example, let's go ahead and test our theory. Back to airports. And what do we want? Runway information. No, was it ILS? Oh, still no ILS. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Maybe it needs to be restarted. But anyway, moving on. Now, the other cool thing is the integration with NeoFly. So here is my NeoFly version 4, and I believe that is the only one that it connects to at the moment, if memory serves. You can see my last aircraft was the Cabri G2, and you can set everything up as you normally would. Jobs, your map, everything that you need to monitor your NeoFly application while you're in flight. It's a really, really slick integration. And I'm very, very appreciative of it. And you can even set it to auto connect if we have that, which we do. So let's go ahead and come back out. And then you have news and updates about the application itself. You have your bush trips, if you guys have that available, where you can use the FS bush trips to, pick a spot or run a flight. Very, very handy tool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a flight plan here. All right, so let's go ahead and actually... First, we're going to find our departure airport. Oops. Darn it. This is just me and my big old fingers not paying attention to what I'm doing. So we go there, and we're going to set this as our departure. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the world map. And you can see the green flag there indicates our departure location. All right, and I'm going to untrack the aircraft so we can move things around. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, and let's see where we want to go. So let's say we want to come out over here. Let's see here. Where are we? All right, so we'll come out. I know this part of town pretty well, so we're going to come over here. I'm just double clicking, just doing a quick double tap. And then we'll come up over this way. Here's the boneyard. Maybe come back down to the Pima Air Museum. Let's find that. UVA Tech Park. Let's see, here's Benson Highway. There's Valencia. Kolb. So it's going to be right about there is going to be... Oops. There we go. The Air Museum. And then we need to set back up for a 29er right arrival. And we'll bring it back in from here. We can do it a couple different ways, but we're going to come back here to KTUS. Oh, I hit the wrong menu. Forgive me. Flight plan. Okay, and you can see all of our elevation requirements. So we know that we need to stay above, as you guys can see here at the top, the first leg. We need to stay above 3,000 feet, basically, to avoid any terrain issues. So we'll obviously set that to like 4,000 feet is probably where we're headed to. You can time your legs. We can set our desired airspeed. Airspeed is going to be more like probably, let's call it 80 knots. Okay. Gives you your time and duration on each leg based on your current speed. And the last thing we're going to do is once again, select KTUS, hit enter, and set it as our arrival. And then when we go to our flight plan, you can see all of our legs. For a total leg distance, it looks like of 36 or 33 nautical miles. And a total flight time of approximately 25 minutes. So not too bad at all. So now we can export our flight plan to somebody else if we wanted to. We can enter in a flight plan code that somebody else had shared with us. We can save the flight plan if we want. If something that you want to repeat on another flight. Tons of really cool stuff. Go back to our flight plan here. Okay, you guys can see there on the right side with the MFD. Well, here, let me just make that bigger because we're going to want that. All right, so if we zoom out, and let me go to detail here. And I want it to be very limited so you guys can see this. All right, so we know we've only got about a 40-mile range there. So there we go. No flight plan is included. So now let's go back to our... So you have to use this icon here to do this, the InSim toolbar. So from here, you can still see our flight plan still there, so nothing's changed. We're going to move this over here. I'm going to do the same thing, select this guy here, and give this one a push. Do you really want to push your aircraft's current flight plan? We're going to hit the check mark. And there is our flight plan. So think about all the possibilities that you guys can now do with VFR flight and not have to worry about having an external program running if you don't want it to be. I can now close this if I want. I could even use the touch, or not use the touchscreen anymore. My flight plan is now entered. I have my destination information, all my flight route information, which means now I have created my flight plan on this incredible tablet using all my VFR references that I like to use at the quick tap of a finger, and then now I'm able to export it directly to the G1000, G3000, G5000 suites. Now the beautiful part is you can also go the other direction. So if we were to come back in here, let's say we had a flight plan that was created in MSFS, or if we had it populated, we used the G3000, for example, on the TBM 930 to create our flight plan, entered it, and we wanted to go the other direction, right? We would simply hit that same button, wait for that notification, and instead we would just select this one here. That's the arrow to the airplane here. So we would select this one here, and our flight plan that we created in Working Titles Avionics would then populate over here on the SkyPad, or the Sky4Sim pad. It is an incredible tool, you guys. Absolutely freaking incredible tool. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get the aircraft in the air, and I'm going to show you guys the descent calculator. So I'll be right back with you guys in just a minute. All right, so now we are back in the seat now. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring our screen back up. Let's go up over here. Descent calculator. Check this out. Synchronize with aircraft. So it knows our altitude. And let's say we wanted to make it 1,000 feet. Target ground speed. Sure, 98 knots. I'm good with that. Target descent rate. Feet per minute. Let's say we wanted to come down at... And there you go. It's automatically doing everything. 200 feet per minute. And check it out. As everything changes, it's changing for you. I mean, it's absolutely freaking awesome, you guys. This thing is such a cool tool. This thing really made a huge difference. Absolutely blown away. But it is a really, really incredible tool, guys. And I just wanted to share with you guys this once again. I think my biggest thing for me that really grabbed me was the newly integrated configuration with the Working Title avionics systems. That really opens up a lot of really cool functionality, especially when it comes to creating your flight plans based on real world information that we have out here. Being able to come in here and change your satellite imagery or your map to the satellite imagery, being able to have access to a touchscreen. You can see we're tracking our aircraft here. Let's go ahead and turn that off for here. I can also move waypoints if I want. I'm just going to hold it, move it. I mean, it's just a really slick thing. You want to delete one, you just left click it and it goes away. It just, and then all you need to do is re-import it to the aircraft. Oh, I can't do it from the tablet. That's right. But you guys catch the gist here. Very, very cool program. Very, very feature rich. And it's really becoming very rapidly an all-in-one. The NeoFly integration is absolutely superb. The Working Title integration, like I said, is just the biggest talking point in my personal opinion at this particular time. the multiple devices access points because of the web browser. And then finally, I think, obviously the virtual reality integration obviously makes a big hit as well. Being able to use this in VR is going to save you a lot of time there as well. But it's really a VFR saver, in my opinion. I think VFR flights are where this really going to shine, which is why I wanted to show this off in something like the Cessna 172 here. Because, and it's not that it's the only place, it's just given the access to a satellite map and being able to use that map to very easily and effectively create a flight plan with all of your, I think one of my biggest things too is also, being able to plot your altitude because of your elevation readout that it gives you as well. So knowing what your elevation target needs to be at a very easy tool, I can go on and on. I love this software. I loved it before. I think the only thing that I would like to see next, if it's even possible, is a Navigraph integration. If they can get this to work with Navigraph, this thing is literally, at that point, it'll be an all-in-one. I mean, in my personal opinion, thinking of all the things that I've done in these aircraft, I think that's the only thing that's missing for me. If we can get, and for example, like VOR maps, or VFR maps, sectionals, you can attach those to this and save it in the documents folder and have access to those as well. So that might be kind of cool. An integration with charts or SkyVector, I think either one of those would be definitely very helpful. I think Navigraph charts would be the winner there if you can make that work. But this is slick. This is just too slick. It is a very, very awesome piece of software. And I just wanted to bring it to light one more time about how incredible this is. I still only showed you guys most of the features, but there's still quite a bit in there that I haven't touched on yet. But this video is probably already a half an hour by this point. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, as always, down in the description below. Stay safe and healthy, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.